things were not going well in the match, and then when they were going well, he managed to stay composed and calm, and that's probably a huge part of the explanation.
This time trouble, how much of a factor is it? Because Gukesh had nearly more than 60 minutes, if I remember correctly, and Ding was racing against time. He had just 10 minutes on the clock towards the end.
It's part of it, but I think the problem today was Ding's attitude. He was trying too hard to make a draw, and certainly he was going about it well, but always it produces a mistake when you want something like that, and I think that was his key mistake.
So you think rather than going for the win, he was trying to play for the draw, and that's where perhaps the defensive approach came to the fore? Is that what you're trying to say? How is Gukesh different? Because playing with black, usually they say, is disadvantages. And that too, game 14, both tied at 6.5 points each after 13 games.
I don't think the black or white makes a big difference at this level right now. But the point was Gukesh kept continuing the game, and Ding was trying to force a draw instead of just making the best moves. If he had just made the best moves, probably he'd got the draw easily. But he tried to force a draw by exchanging rooks, and then suddenly he forgot that his bishop was in the corner.
Well, Gukesh was questioned about this entire burst of emotion, the tears that came forth. You identify with that. It's usually very rare to see Gukesh so emotional, but you know him from close quarters, so I'm asking.
Certainly, you're deliriously happy.
Yes, please continue.
Yes, yeah, that's it.
And did this bring back some memories of when you won and what you went through at that time?
Yes, it did. The first time you win it, for me, it was in 2000. Definitely, it's something I remember very well, and I'm sure it'll be the same for him.
Your thoughts as a mentor, as a guru, about how Gukesh has played throughout this tournament?
We have worked together with him through the Westbridge Anand Academy. It's now 4 years, and that's like a bullet. He was a very talented but very young player, and that he would become world champion in 4 years, beat all my guesses.
But throughout this tournament, through the 13 games and into game number 14, where do you think Gukesh actually got into the fray, or did you always believe that he had a chance?
I think it was clear that he always had a chance in this match, but he would have to play well, and Ding showed huge resourcefulness and strength on many occasions during this match. But Gukesh had great games. He had mistakes, but the main thing is he kept playing, and he won.
So you also noticed what some other experts believed, that there were portions or moments in the games or in the moves where Gukesh had also actually faltered. But do you believe Ding failed to capitalize, or did Gukesh hold on well, or correct?
No, this is par for the course in the match. You will have strong good moments. You'll have weak moments. The point is just to keep trying and playing the best moves.
So Ding's team somewhere has also quoted the level of preparation that came from Gukesh actually surprised the other side. Would you like to pat yourself and also the team, the support on the back for the way Gukesh has been prepared for this?
Definitely. We worked very closely and tried to make sure he had all the best resources and help. Congratulations to Gukesh and his team.
One aspect of the game?
And all the other members of his team, and they did a great job.
One aspect of his game that you feel he's really improved on, worked on, that sees him as world champion today?
Just his ability to stay focused on the goal.
Final question, Vishy. The championship comes back to Bharat, to India. Your thoughts on that?
Yes, very, very proud, very happy that there's now a successor Indian world champion, also from Tamil Nadu. Just great news.
Vishy Anand, always a pleasure speaking with you. Congratulations all around. Thank you for speaking with us.
Thank you.
Well, that was Vishy Anand, mentor, guru to D. Gukesh, who's speaking with us Lucky that we got him on the phone here at CNN News 18. Let's try and go back to that press conference for a bit and listen to the champion himself, D. Gukesh.
So, yeah, I mean, this team, every single one of them, they work their asses off. So, I can't thank all of them enough. And yeah, I mean, this journey, I wouldn't have been here without every single one of them. So, thank you so much, guys. I'm sorry we haven't still talking. I mean, I spoke with Gayu, but probably we'll get on a call and we'll just celebrate like crazy now. The guys are together in Spain right now, and yeah, really looking forward to talking to them.
Congrats on hiding your team so well too.
Congratulations, Gukesh. The fan zone was crazy after Rook F2. It was just silence and then that's it. So my name is Ahmed. I'm talking on behalf of Kazakhstan Telegram channel Честно говоря, and we have a question. Whom would you like to play against to defend your champion title?
I have 2 years for that. I just want to enjoy this moment. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Much congratulations, Gukesh. I'm sure you'll hear that more than once today. This goes and pertains to all the chess parents watching across the world. Can you describe how specifically your parents and their sacrifice has helped you along your chess journey, all the way leading up to winning the World Chess Championship?
Yeah, I would like to thank is like a very small word for what they have done. So, both my parents, my mom and dad, I mean, my dad is here. My mom, unfortunately, I mean, is not here, but she is back home and I'm sure she is very happy. Probably she will come tomorrow to celebrate. But both my parents, right from the start, I mean, it's the dream was probably bigger for them than it was for me, because firstly, to start with, I mean, they both are sports lovers, and back in their youth, they did not get the chance to pursue their passion, and when I was born, they decided that whatever I want to do, they will do everything they can to support me in every way possible. And yeah, when I started showing interest in chess and showed some talent, they went to such lengths that I mean, I did not understand at that time, but around now I look back at it and I mean, they are just crazy. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I can't thank them enough. Both of them have been simply the biggest support, and they are, yeah, I mean, my whole journey, it's not only for me, it's for them. So, yeah, I mean, I love them both and I thank them very much.
Thank you.
Congratulations to the 18th world champion. My name is Ankit Dalal and I'm from San Samachar. Gukesh, I'm going to ask you a very important question. It's regarding Paddy Upton, because the mental conditioning and what his role is not been spoken about in chess earlier, where we have seen other sports. He's also a celebrity in terms of he made Indian team win the World Cricket Final in 2011. So what was his role, and what would you tell the upcoming players how important mental conditioning is in chess?
Yeah. So firstly, Paddy, we started working together. Working together around May, June, with the help of I mean, Sandeep sir, my sponsor Westbridge. They arranged. I mean, Sandeep sir introduced me and Paddy, and
So D. Gukesh crediting Paddy Upton, who helped in the mental conditioning of the Indian cricket team a few years ago for the mental strength. Vishy Anand also commending D. Gukesh's victory. So the World Chess Championship comes to Bharat again after Vishy Anand. It is his mentee and student D. Gukesh who's done the impossible, what looked like the impossible at the start of this tournament. 14 games down the line, he has got the better of Ding Liren, the reigning world champion, who's been sitting there at the summit for a while now. Let's move on here on this edition of The Right Stand. Another big move by Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma. The state government would begin the verification of applicants for Aadhaar cards in Assam and reject applicants whose families had not applied to be part of the National Register of Citizens. Following a meeting on Wednesday, the CM said that the cabinet had approved the proposal for the implementation of a standard operating procedure to this end. He said that the General Administration Department of the state government would be the nodal agency for its implementation. The opposition has questioned the CM's move, calling Assam a banana republic under him. But the move comes under serious concerns pertaining to massive illegal influx. On the 27th of October, highlighting the threat of illegals entering Bharat, the Chief Minister said every state government must remain vigilant and work very closely with the BSF. Assam and Tripura are working in a coordinated manner. If West Bengal government also starts detecting such people, it will be a well-orchestrated and systematic effort. He added, we are only finding only Rohingya Muslims who are coming to our country, and the Rohingya Muslims are still trying to enter various states of our country. On 24th October, Himanta Biswa Sarma said we have a zero tolerance policy towards infiltration, particularly by Rohingya. In the last 2 months, Assam has intercepted 130 plus illegal immigrants. On September 7th, Himanta Biswa Sarma said that we have decided to strengthen and intensify the process of detecting illegal immigrants who could become a problem not only for Assam but also for the country. On the 17th of July earlier this year, he had said Assam, Bengal and Jharkhand are the states where demography is changing fast, including Tripura. These illegal occupants are putting stress on Assam's resources. Now, are illegals entering Bharat using the volatile situation in the neighbouring nation of Bangladesh? These figures, which prompted Chief Minister to take a big move, are quite alarming. 3.5% plus 3.7% Aadhaar cards were unaccounted for in Barpeta out of 103.7% issued. In Dhubri, 103.48% Aadhaar cards were issued and 3.48% was actually unaccounted for. In Morigaon, again 1.76% of the Aadhaar cards issued were unaccounted for. In Nagaon, again nearly 1% of the Aadhaar cards issued were unaccounted for. Himanta Biswa Sarma's big step in Assam will invalidate Aadhaars procured illegally by foreigners. Ratna Singh, spokesperson of the Assam BJP with us, Kamru Chaudhary, political analyst with us, Dr. Ankita Datta, researcher and columnist with us. My namaste and Jai Hind to everybody. Regret the little delay because it's a matter for celebration for all of us, a moment for pride. Aside of the politics, it's D. Gukesh who's the world champion, so we had to spend some time there. But Ratna ji, this move, NRC hai to safe hai, that's the kind of message that it's bringing out. What Himanta Biswa Sarma is saying, no Aadhaar if there is no NRC.
Namaskar to each and everyone out here, and it's very important because whatever you have narrated right now and whatever the circumstances we are seeing in Assam, the status of the infiltrators coming from Bangladesh after the recent happenings and the killings and the murders of Hindus out there, and the situation, how this turmoil is happening in Bangladesh, how the people are crossing and how many of them have been apprehended. So seeing that, each and every state government and each and every government would do something to, make the place more safer, the state safer and the people safer. So the Chief Minister Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma has taken this step. The SOP has been has been formulated, and as a result of which the NRC is one of the requirements is that NRC, the name has to be there, and if it's not there, the field verification would be taking place as per the directives of the Supreme Court, and after the field verification, the circle officer has to move it to the center. So now the thing is that the main and the most important the main agenda behind this is that the motive behind is that we want to save our Assam. We want to save the infiltrations of these Bangladeshi people coming from the border. And last many years during the regime of other governments, the Congress and other governments, in fact the Congress itself, you have seen how the people have migrated from Bangladesh to Assam and in fact to the other parts of the country. And today it has become a big challenge and issue not only in Assam, and in fact it has become from Jammu Kashmir to Kerala to Gujarat to Mizoram. Everywhere we are facing this problem of the the illegal Bangladeshis, and Rohingyas. So that is the main motive behind us, that we want to keep our people safe, our Assam safe, our border safe, and whoever is not included in NRC, definitely it has to be chalked out by the circle officer, by the General Administration Department, and then the circle officer, and verification would be taking place. So if the person has not applied for NRC, his family has not applied, or somebody has not applied in his family, then there will be a verification will be taking place. And if the name isn't there in NRC, there won't be any problem. So these are the things has been formulated. The SOP is because the only intention and motive is there. We want to save our country, we want to save Assam, and almost whatever damage has been created by the previous governments in India, we want to control it, we want to mitigate it, and further in future, no such damage we want to do to our borders, to our states, and to our country.
Kamru Chaudhary?
Yeah, Anand, it's quite paradoxical to discuss today the point of Aadhaar linking with the NRC. Assam BJP must first clarify whether they accept the NRC that was conducted in 2015 and 2019, because as on record, Assam's Himanta Biswa Sarma has already rejected the Assam NRC. He's on record a number of times. So they need to clarify whether the 9,35,682 Aadhaar cards that were whose biometrics were locked, and very recently the central government along with the Assam government asked the UIDAI to unlock the biometrics of these people who were found to be doubtful citizens in the NRC's first list. So linking the Aadhaar card with the NRC, I believe, is a welcome step. It helps in identify those people who have applied for the citizenship, who have got sure shot citizenship in Assam NRC list. But they need to understand that Aadhaar is not a proof of citizenship. It is clearly written. For the benefit of your viewers, I'm just showing this piece of paper of the Aadhaar, where it says that Aadhaar is a proof of identity, not of citizenship. Now, linking the welfare measure scheme that the Aadhaar is supposed to give to the people of the country, why is the government trying to link it with the NRC? And not only that, Anand, you try to understand that they are linking with those people who have applied for the NRC, not those who have got doubtful citizenship, everything. The 20 lakh people who were rejected in the NRC or who were having doubtful citizenship, all of them will be getting an NRC, will be getting an Aadhaar card. How come the government is framing such laws which itself is doubtful? This is a clear-cut betrayal of the trust of the people who have lost thousands of lives during the 1983 Assam agitation. The Assam government, the BJP government must explain to the people of Assam whether they are accepting the Bangladeshis as the rightful citizens of this country, whether the 20 lakh people who are found to be doubtful, have they accepted them as the citizens of the country, yes or no? That's my simple question, Anand, tonight.
Ratnaji?
Now the thing is that I think he is mistaken. We are not telling about it linking. The thing is that the procedure, the SOP has been formulated, that the name has to be there in the NRC. In fact, whether the person and his family has applied for NRC or not. Now the thing is the cases and everything is pending in the Supreme Court, and the work of the NRC had taken within the supervision of Supreme Court. Now there were some discrepancies and all were there, and for which the matter has been registered in front of the Supreme Court. Now the thing is that it has just been SOP has been given, that the circle officer has to see that whether the name has been applied in the NRC or not. And if the name has not been there put up in the NRC, then the field verification will be taking place. It is not the mandatory that the NRC linking is taking place. It's not mandatory, but definitely it is one of the procedure to find out that person is valid or not, because in the name of Aadhaar, lot many discrepancies has taken place, and for which you've been narrating it right now in Dhubri and Barpeta and all these Nova places where lots of Bangladeshi people are ruling, and they're just moving around. So lots of discrepancies has taken place, and what is wrong? And at the same time, long back when the Congress governments were there, the people used to cross the borders, they used to have the papers ready, and the system was operating in such a way from Delhi to Guwahati, the system was operating in such a way that everything used to be ready. A legal person of India was not having documents. During the NRC operations which were taking place in Assam, I myself, we are Indians, we were running here and there for papers, authentic papers. We are Indians. We are brought up in India. But the Rohingyas and the Bangladeshis residing in Guwahati, Assam, and different places of Assam, they were very happy. They had all the documents ready. A normal rickshaw wala coming from Bangladesh during the time of Congress, they were having all the papers ready. They were not afraid. But a person coming from Bihar, person coming from Uttar Pradesh, and person coming from other places, even Assamese local people were not having proper papers to show the validity during the NRC. So what is wrong? And it is not that we are going to link. It is under the purview, supervision of Supreme Court, the NRC is taking place. Now, why these people don't understand? I'm sorry to say, sir, the other person, who in the panelist who is there, he is not understanding that we are not linking. We are just making a standard procedure, operating procedure, that the circle officer will be working in these lines. And as per the directives of the Supreme Court, the circle officer will have to do the verification, ground verification. The ultimate end is the ground verification, and if he finds any discrepancies that this person is a foreigner or something like that, then things will be taking place. Now, deportation of a foreigners by Foreigners Act of 1946, all the things are taking place as per the act, as per the procedures of deportations and other things. Till now, there has been more than 3,000 people has been deported to Bangladesh. So that work is different. And we are very clear regarding the Bangladeshi infiltrators in Assam, and the work of NRC is under the supervision of Supreme Court. So now the government of the BJP in Assam and the center under Narendra Modi, we are very clear regarding the Rohingyas and Bangladeshis. We are not going to consider them as a guest like in Delhi, like under Kejriwal government. We are not going to consider them as a guest in like Jammu Kashmir when the LG is cutting all the connections, but the government is providing them facilities.
Quick rebuttal. Right. Okay, quick rebuttal. Kamru Chaudhary and then Dr. Ankita Datta.
Simple question: 20 lakh people have been identified as Ghuspatiyas in Assam by the NRC process. By this simple SOP, as Ratnaji is stating out here, does she accept that these 20 lakh Ghuspatiya Bangladeshis who have taken over Assam as a dharamshala will be given Aadhaar cards? You have got already a practical list wherein 20 lakh people have been identified as Ghuspatiyas in Assam. You are linking that not with the NRC list. If you are linking with the NRC list, then I could have said that my education during the 80s is a successful. Please let me finish.
It is for the new Aadhaar which are going to be made.
Please let me finish. Ratnaji, don't go like a Vande Bharat out here. You are confusing. You tell me whether you have 20 lakh Bangladeshi Ghuspatiyas living in a dharamshala in Assam. Have you accepted them as Indians?
We are not accepting, and the Supreme Court is looking into this matter of the NRC. It is for the new people who are going to apply for the Aadhaar. Very
then
clear
why
is
are you
there.
bringing the NRC?
So it is for.
Has been put in the SOP.
Why are you bringing the Aadhaar?
It is for new people. It is for the issuance of the Aadhaar card. Now, please yield. Dr. Ankita Datta, one concern remains: who is issuing the Aadhaar to these people, these elements? Should they also not be booked under the National Security Act? Should they also, because they are doing a great disservice for the country? Any common service center manager, any person authorized as an authorized agency of the government of India who's making Aadhaar cards and doing the biometric tests without looking the actual validity of the citizen, inking them as Indian citizens when they know they are not. You can make Aadhaar, but you have to ink them as foreign citizens. You can make Aadhaar cards for Nepal, people from Nepal, from anywhere, but you make sure that it's not a document for citizenship, so that it's identified that they are not they are unnatural or illegal or unnatural citizens. They are alien citizens from this from Bharat. They are non-Bharatiya. And when they go to make their voter ID using the Aadhaar, it's not made. When they go to make their ration card using Aadhaar, it is not made.
Yeah, certainly. So as my fellow co-panelist Ratnaji has already mentioned, that NRC is something which is court ordered and court monitored. It is not something which the Assam government has itself started overnight, first of all. Okay. And secondly, it has already been done in Assam. So if your name, it's simple. If your name is not there in the NRC, your citizenship is doubtful and you have no right to access Aadhaar identification, because so many things, including the benefits of government schemes, are now interlinked with Aadhaar. So it is straight away a case of doubtful people already eating into the resources, eating away the resources of the state and the government, which the Chief Minister has rightly mentioned. So the government has all the rights to protect its resources and ensure that they reach only the rightful and the deserving people. Also, if we go by the Assam Accord of 1985, there are certain limitations on who can get Indian citizenship and who cannot. So see, many years have passed by since that accord was signed in 1985. So it is a legal foundation on the government of Assam that there should be a counting of all those people who have entered illegally after that. And census data clearly shows that there has been a disproportionate increase in the population of the Muslims in Assam in so many districts, not just the border districts, even in districts like Nagaon and Morigaon over all these years. I mean, the new population that has been added after 25th of March 1971, that shows a disproportionate number of Muslims. So there are, if not crores, there are lakhs who infiltrated after 1971, and these people are infiltrators. They are not simply refugees. So legally, the decision of the government of Assam is very much sensible and sound, keeping in time with the Assam Accord, and also India is not a signatory to the Refugee Convention of 1951. And even if it would have been a signatory, we cannot allow infiltrators to settle in this country on any ground. And there can be regarding the NRC. Let me just complete, sir. Regarding the NRC, there can be an updation of the NRC based on a thorough investigation of who came when, and if some genuine names were excluded. If some genuine names were excluded in the original NRC, I mean, there can be an updation of that same further, because there have been so many events after the publication of that data, and so many questions have been raised from different quarters on the authenticity of the NRC data. But yes, along with the updation of the NRC, this recent decision of the government of Assam will be hopefully further able to curb the threat of infiltration and secure our eastern borders from the population imbalance and the demographic invasion that we are currently witnessing. And already because of the ongoing conflict in Manipur, there is the threat of Mar Kuki militants sneaking into southern Assam's sacred Bhuban Pahar region along the border with Manipur in Jiribam district. And then at the other end, in lower Assam, along the districts in the northern bank of the Brahmaputra, the demography has already massively changed. So many different villages of people with doubtful citizenship have been set up in these areas overnight. I mean, I have my studies on these, and these regions simply cannot afford to bear the burden of yet another wave of illegal influx of people from across the border.
So it is about those who are already here and those who may want to come here. What happens about the future? So there is one thing about henceforth, Kamru Chaudhary, and now the question is about what about who are already here. So Kamru Chaudhary, I am asking you, will you and will the Congress party and the opposition in Assam openly back anybody and everybody who is an illegal to be deported, to be identified, moved, removed, and then eventually deported?
Well, another very important question you've asked here. Congress party in Assam has already opposed the Citizenship Amendment Act, under which all Guspetias, irrespective of their religion, have made Assam a Dharamshala. Around 20 lakh of these Guspetias have been identified in Assam under the NRC, out of which 9,35,682 Aadhaar biometrics had been seized during the NRC exercises. But very recently, Himanta Biswa Sarma unlocked the 9,35,000 Aadhaar biometrics of these Guspetias in Assam. It is very much important for the people of Assam to understand the dual standard or the double standards of Himanta Biswa Sarma in Assam.
There is no double standard. My question to you was very simple. Anybody and everybody who under NRC, under the Assam Accord and NRC is not a citizen of Bharat, will you openly... will you say they must be expelled? Secondly, sir, the Citizenship Amendment Act... One minute. The Citizenship Amendment Act of 2019 has its date as only as the 31st of December 2014, on or before the 31st of December 2014. So anybody who has come after that, illegally into this country is deemed an illegal only till the time they seek asylum properly, report their presence with the local district magistrate, and are then deemed as refugees. So that's a different matter. But you take a position that those who stand there and say kagaz nahi dikhayenge, you will not stand behind them and prop them up. Will you say that, sir? Will you openly say that whoever says kagaz nahi dikhayenge and tries to block streets of our country, you will not support them?
Anand, Assam, every citizen ने कागज
I am asking you, whoever says NRC के लिए citizenship records के लिए कागज नहीं दिखाएंगे, you will not stand up and prop them up.
Not accept the NRC list.
Will you say that anybody and everybody who is asked to show their documents to prove that whether they are bona fide citizens of Bharat, will you not prop them up? You are not willing to answer that question. Ratna ji, you have not answered that. You have not answered that. You have not answered that because you prop them up. You prop them up when they block the streets. You prop them up. You ensured. You tried to fearmonger on the basis of CAA that CAA will lead to NRC. You tried to oppose NRC in the country, Kamru Chaudhary. When I say you, the Congress party, the opposition of this country, tried to do that, and you created a frenzy. You created a frenzy when Bharat wanted to determine who are the genuine citizens of this country and who have illegally entered this country. And you have done this. You have done this. So you must accept it. Today you are conveniently calling them Ghuspetias. Otherwise, you will play the appeasement game that they are poor Rohingya, they are Bangladeshi. Today, because there are Hindus involved, you are calling them openly, calling them Ghuspetia. I am asking you this question. You didn't answer it. Now, Ratna ji, I have run out of time. 1 minute, sir. 1 minute. Ratna ji.
Not a single can I, sir?
Yes. Ratna ji, my question to you, sir.
Day,
my question to you, ma'am, is will you, ma'am, name, shame, and book under NSA anybody and every person who is actually making these Aadhaar cards and officially giving them a handle and a toehold into our country? It is happening brazenly.
Right. The government has taken enough, strong steps against the people, those who were doing this, but the system is working in such a way because many years systems were operating under these type of people, who call when Hindus are coming, they are Ghuspetias, and when Bangladeshi Muslims had come and Muslims had come, minorities had come, they had welcomed them and made them the vote banks. Now, I'm not going to fall into that thing, but the thing is that the government has taken enough strong steps against those people who were involved, the circle officers, the ADCs, and all the system people, the proper actions have taken place. Now, my second point is that, you're asking a question to a person who's not going to answer anything. They won't give a clear answer. Now, the alliance, the India alliance are very, 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 softing. They have a soft corner for the Bangladeshis and the Rohingyas from Jammu Kashmir, which I was telling you, till Kejriwal. All these people,
they can have a soft corner, hard corner, whatever. They are not in power anymore. My point is, for the last 9.5 years, 10 years now, and bulk of that across nearly 18 states in the country, the NDA and the BJP-led grouping is in power. What are you doing to ensure that no illegal dares to think that they can pay a few thousand rupees and get documents that will help them not just naturalize, but also feed on benefits, welfare schemes that are supposed to be the taxpayers' money going to the people who do not have. This entire parasitic number is upwards of 4 crore people in our country, and only about 8 crore people pay income tax in our country, or who have actually filed their returns, 8.5 to 9 crore. So nearly 50% of those numbers are illegals who are in this country who are feeding off the taxpayers' benefits. Why should that happen, and is that fair? Now, so I'm going to wind up on that note. I got news on the Prime Minister. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has just tweeted and congratulated Gukesh. Before we take a break, quickly reading through this. Historic and exemplary. Congratulations to Gukesh on his remarkable accomplishment. This is the result of his unparalleled talent, hard work, and unwavering determination. His triumph has not only etched his name in the annals of chess history, but has also inspired millions of young minds to dream big and pursue excellence. Short break. Be right back.
अब आया असली
बच्चा को इंसाफ दिलवा दीजिए, बस और कुछ नहीं चाहिए। तुम्हें छोड़ो, अभी बच्चे से नहीं मिल रहा टॉर्चर किया हम लोग को, भी टॉर्चर किया। मेरा बच्चा अपने ऊपर सब लेके अपना, मेरा बच्चा सब बर्दाश्त किया, हम लोग को भी नहीं सहने दिया। अपना कष्ट अपने झेलता रहा, अंदर ही अंदर घुट गया, एकदम बर्दाश्त से बाजुल कर दी। मेरा बच्चा एकदम अंदर से टूट गया था रे बाप रे मेरा बच्चा अंदर से बिल्कुल टूट गया था। हुआ मेरा बच्चा कि टूट गया एकदम अंदर से।
अभी मीडिया का ही तेरा है क्या हुआ? बस लाश कहाँ?
मेरा बच्चा अंदर से बिल्कुल टूट गया।
आपके बेटा आपको कुछ बताए थे क्या हुआ था और हो क्या रहा था सर? क्यों ऐसा डिसीजन लिए है?
हमारा बेटा हमको कहता था कि पापा हम जाते हैं कोर्ट में तो हमारे पास हमको जो है सो पूरा जस्टिस नहीं मिलता है वहाँ। हर आदमी हमको जो है सो कानून व्यवस्था के अंतर्गत कोई काम नहीं होता है और ये नियम से चलने वाला कानून से चलने वाला आदमी था, लेकिन ये कभी भी जो है सो वहाँ की कानून व्यवस्था को एकदम मानता था कि एकदम खत्म है।
सर क्या बताए थे सर आपके बेटा? इससे पहले आपकी जो बात हुई थी, कब बात हुई थी और क्या हुआ क्या था?
मार्च के महीना में वो गया था। मार्च के महीना के बाद जब आया ना तो कहा कि पापा वहाँ का जो मीडिएशन का जो जज हैं, चाहे जो भी लोग है, वकील है चाहे जज है, जो भी है, वो वहाँ की कानून व्यवस्था जो लॉ है अपने भारत का, उस लॉ से नहीं चलता है। लोग उस लॉ को मानता ही नहीं है। जो ये बता रहा था कि इस धारा में ये लॉ होना चाहिए, तो वो उसको हाई कोर्ट के, सुप्रीम कोर्ट के लॉ को भी नहीं मानता था।
क्या बोले थे आपके बेटा आपको? उनको हो क्या रहा था?
उनको कुछ नहीं, उनको तो 40 बार बेंगलोर, कम से कम 40 बार गया होगा बेंगलोर से जौनपुर, और माने इतनी धारा उस पर एक खत्म हो जाता था केस तो दूसरा लगा देती थी। इस बात के कारण जो है तो भीतर से फ्रस्ट्रेट था, लेकिन हम लोग को महसूस नहीं होने दिया कि क्या है नहीं है। एकाएक हम लोग को खबर गई है कि वो अपना पूरा मेल वगैरह हमारे छोटे लड़के को रात में किया है 1:30 बजे 2 बजे, हमारे पास 3 बजे उसका फ़ोन आया है। उसके बाद हम लोग कैसे कैसे करके वहाँ से पटना आए हैं, एयरपोर्ट पटना से बेंगलोर पहुँचे 4 बजे शाम में।
मतलब सर आप जानते हैं कि उनके फैमिली कुछ जो अपने वाइफ के ऊपर और उनके फैमिली के ऊपर जो इल्ज़ाम लगाए हैं, सच है वो सारे?
एकदम 100% सच है, 100% सच है। उसमें एक आध इल्ज़ाम छूट गया हो तो भले, लेकिन जितना इल्ज़ाम वो को याद होगा उतना लगाया हो तो एकदम सही है।
मतलब आपके बेटा हेरासमेंट
बहुत हेरासमेंट था उसके साथ। हमारी वाइफ 4 महीना रही है, इसको डायबिटीज नहीं थी। वहाँ के टेंशन को देख के वो देखती थी, वहाँ की जो स्थिति है उसको देख करके इसको डायबिटीज हो गई।
मतलब आपके बेटे के अतुल के साथ रहती थी?
हाँ, नहीं गई थी, उसको प्रेग्नेंट थी तो हमारी वाइफ को हमने भेजा था। अकेले हम रहते थे वहाँ बिहार में, इसको भेजा था कि वहाँ पर मदद करना है बहू की। वहाँ का जो देखती थी ना, उसका जो आचार विचार, इसको देख करके थोड़ा सा इसको भी बहुत टेंशन होता था, लेकिन बोलती नहीं थी। हमारे लड़कियों को अब कितना टेंशन होता होगा हम नहीं बता सकते हैं।
8 months after separation, they filed a divorce case against him, and lot of charges against him were charged in different acts and different acts and different sections. Even not only on my brother, even on me, even on my old parents, all of them get.
A suicide bombing in Afghanistan's capital Kabul on Wednesday killed Taliban refugee minister Khalilur Rahman Haqqani and 2 others. Islamic State Khorasan has claimed responsibility for the attack, but there's more to this story. There's speculation which is subject to verification as per sources that the Kandahari group of the Taliban could be involved in the attack. There have been major tensions between the Haqqanis and Kandaharis in recent times. That's what sources have added. CNN News 18's exclusive inputs on here on the right stand, courtesy our Security Affairs editor Manoj Kumar Gupta. Highlights on the tussle between Akhundzad and Haqqani. The Kandahari group under Taliban leader Hibatullah Akhundzad wants to remove Sirajuddin Haqqani from the control of Afghanistan. Top sources have told CNN News 18. Sources have further added that Akhundzad's biggest concern is that Haqqani is not working for Afghanistan but his own vested interests. And according to sources, Sirajuddin Haqqani was communicated through Kandahar that he is under obligation to fully obey them. Kandahar also wanted Haqqani to be low profile and implement Sharia, sources said. Sources added that they also instructed him not to be in the media, not to broadcast or publish videos or pictures. Sources further added that Kandahar made it clear to Haqqani, that is Sirajuddin Haqqani, that if he doesn't obey them, then he must resign. Sirajuddin Haqqani hails from the Zadran tribe and they have 10 districts along the Durand line bordering Pakistan. Haqqani appoints officials for those 10 districts. However, recently, the Kandahar group did not allow the Haqqani faction to appoint and evicted them from their own hometown, sources have further added. Following this, Haqqani visited his native place and inaugurated a mosque in the name of a suicide bomber, Hayatullah. This was a signal from the Taliban chief to the Taliban chief Hibatullah Akhundzad that whatever has been achieved was because they were together and the ground worker cannot be forgotten. Here during his inauguration speech, Haqqani spoke about hundreds of suicide attacks under his command. According to sources, Hibatullah Akhundzad also got upset after Haqqani's interview to the media, including to one with CNN News 18, and took the locks and keys authorities of ammunition and arms depot from him. In the latest Kandahar cabinet meeting, a scuffle between Hibatullah Akhundzad and Sirajuddin Haqqani was also reported on the issue of NGOs, which is seen as a major economic base for the Afghan government. According to sources, there are 2,700 Afghan NGOs and 278 foreign NGOs, and altogether they employ 80,000 Afghan people vetted by the Taliban, mainly by the Haqqani faction. Akhundzad sees this as an economic base for Haqqani and not for the country. Akhundzad also sees this as a threat that foreign nations are empowering Haqqani in the name of foreign NGOs and have routed money. In the middle of all this tension, they have also attacked Khalil Haqqani, who was the mentor and brain behind Sirajuddin Haqqani. Meanwhile, according to sources close to Amrullah Saleh, the president in exile, after 4 or 5 months of Kabul's fall, Akhundzad moved the headquarters of suicide bombers from Kabul to Kandahar, and since then he's been directly controlling and preaching them. This clearly suggests that it was an attempt to move control of the suicide brigade and the suicide academy from Haqqani to Kandahar under Akhundzad. Earlier, the Baghlan police chief and Taliban commander Saifullah was killed in Badakhshan, and ISKP claimed responsibility, but it was speculated that he was actually killed by an insider and the ISKP was bribed to claim responsibility. Sources close to Amrullah Saleh said, has a similar situation occurred in the case of Khalil Haqqani? We have to wait and watch. Short break. When we come back, it's a cabinet nod to one nation, one poll. The bill likely next week in Parliament. Stay with us.
टॉर्चर किया हम लोग को भी टॉर्चर किया, पर मेरा बच्चा अपने ऊपर सब लेके अपना मेरा बच्चा सब बर्दाश्त किया, हम लोग को भी नहीं सहने दिया, अपना कष्ट अपने झेलता रहा, अंदर ही अंदर घुट गया, एकदम बर्दाश्त से बाजुल कर दी, मेरा बच्चा एकदम अंदर से टूट गया था रे बाप रे बाप, मेरा बच्चा अंदर से बिल्कुल टूट गया था, इतना टॉर्चर हुआ मेरा बच्चा कि टूट गया एकदम अंदर से।
अभी मीडिया का ही दे रहा है क्या? बस लाश कहाँ?
मेरा बच्चा अंदर से बिल्कुल टूट गया।
आपके बेटा आपको कुछ बताए थे क्या हुआ था और हो क्या रहा था सर? क्यों ऐसा डिसीजन लिए है?
हमारा बेटा हमको कहता था कि पापा हम जाते हैं कोर्ट में तो हमारे पास हमको जो है सो पूरा जस्टिस नहीं मिलता है, वहाँ हर आदमी हमको जो है सो कानून व्यवस्था के अंतर्गत कोई काम नहीं होता है, और ये नियम से चलने वाला कानून से चलने वाला आदमी था, लेकिन ये कभी भी जो है सो वहाँ की कानून व्यवस्था को एकदम मानता था कि एकदम खत्म है।
सर क्या क्या बताए थे सर आपके बेटा? इससे पहले आपकी जो बात हुई थी, कब बात हुई थी और क्या हुआ क्या था?
मार्च के महीना में वो गया था, मार्च के महीना के बाद जब आया ना तो कहा कि पापा वहाँ का जो मीडिएशन का जो जज हैं, चाहे जो भी लोग है, वकील है चाहे जज है, जो भी है, वो वहाँ की कानून व्यवस्था जो लॉ है अपने भारत का, उस लॉ से नहीं चलता है, लोग उस लॉ को मानता ही नहीं है। जो ये बता रहा था कि इस धारा में ये लॉ होना चाहिए, तो वो उसको हाई कोर्ट के सुप्रीम कोर्ट के लॉ को भी नहीं मानता था।
क्या बोले थे आपके बेटा आपको? उनको हो क्या रहा था?
उनको कुछ नहीं, उनको तो 40 बार बेंगलोर, कम से कम 40 बार गया होगा बेंगलोर से जौनपुर, और बने इतनी धारा उस पर, एक खत्म हो जाता था केस तो दूसरा लगा देती थी। इस बात के कारण जो है तो भीतर से फ्रस्ट्रेट था, लेकिन हम लोग को महसूस नहीं होने दिया कि क्या है नहीं है। एकाएक हम लोग को खबर गई है कि वो अपना पूरा मेल वगैरह हमारे छोटे लड़के को रात में किया है 1:30 बजे 2 बजे, हमारे पास 3 बजे उसका फ़ोन आया है। उसके बाद हम लोग कैसे कैसे करके वहाँ से पटना आए हैं, एयरपोर्ट पटना से बेंगलोर पहुँचे 4 बजे शाम में।
मतलब सर आप जानते हैं कि उनके फैमिली कुछ जो अपने वाइफ के ऊपर और उनके फैमिली के ऊपर जो इल्ज़ाम लगाए हैं, सच है वो सारे?
एकदम 100% सच है, 100% सच है। उसमें एक आध इल्ज़ाम छूट गया हो तो भले, लेकिन जितना इल्ज़ाम वो को याद होगा उतना लगाया हो तो एकदम सही है।
मतलब आपके बेटा हेरासमेंट
बहुत हेरासमेंट था उसके साथ। हमारी वाइफ 4 महीना रही है, इसको डायबिटीज नहीं थी। वहाँ के टेंशन को देख के वो देखती थी, वहाँ की जो स्थिति है उसको देख करके इसको डायबिटीज हो गई।
मतलब आपके बेटे के अतुल के साथ रहती थी?
हाँ, नहीं गई थी, उसको प्रेग्नेंट थी तो हमारी वाइफ को हमने भेजा था। अकेले हम रहते थे वहाँ बिहार में, इसको भेजा था कि वहाँ पर मदद करना है बहू की। वहाँ का जो देखती थी ना, उसका जो आचार विचार, इसको देख करके थोड़ा सा इसको भी बहुत टेंशन होता था, लेकिन ये बोलती नहीं थी। हमारे लड़कों को अब कितना टेंशन होता होगा हम नहीं बता सकते हैं।
8 months after separation, they filed a divorce case against him, and lot of charges against him were charged in different acts and different acts and different sections. Even
the Union Cabinet has approved the One Nation, One Election. Government sources have said the government is likely to bring a comprehensive bill on the same sometime during this ongoing winter session of Parliament early next week. The Cabinet has already given its nod. Guru Prakash Paswan and Kamru Chaudhary with us. Is this going to be a game changer for Bharat, especially with respect to polls? Because many believe, Guru Prakash Paswan, that our nation will benefit by at least 1 to 1.5% of the GDP if just this entire polling process is aligned.
No, Anand, you are a fairly senior journalist, and you would remember before 2014 there was a very popular term called policy paralysis. You know what policy paralysis was? It essentially was the lack of decision-making capacity of the government, and primarily driven by the constant election cycles. We recently saw 2024 general election, then Maharashtra election, Jharkhand election, couple of months Delhi election, and then Bihar election. What are we supposed to do? Maximum number of interventions in the Constituent Assembly debates. I would like to draw your attention, or your viewers' attention, towards the intervention by Professor Shrivan Lal Saxena. Professor Shrivan Lal Saxena in the Constituent Assembly debate has categorically advocated and supported the idea of one nation, one election. He has in fact cautioned the entire country of the massive electoral cost if there is a discontinuation. But we all very well remember that in 1959, for the first time, when a democratically elected government was suspended by Jawaharlal Nehru, this election cycle broke. Point number 1. Point number 2, you look at the Coven Committee report. In a democracy, how do we function? In the Coven Committee report, we are very well aware of the fact that out of 47 registered political parties, 32 political parties, and political parties are vehicles on which the public sentiments are represented. Out of 47, 32 political parties have supported the idea. 15 either abstained or disagreed with the idea, given acceptable. It was in the public domain as well. Out of 22,000 public domain inputs, Anand, more than 80% of them have supported the idea. Last point, and I would like to summarize my observation. We all speak about the 73rd and the 74th constitutional amendment, and unfortunately no one is speaking about it. The 73rd and the 74th constitutional amendment, the Gram Swaraj idea, which was the vision of Father of Nation Mahatma Gandhi, in this Coven Committee report, it has been categorically said, and I quote, that within the 100 days of election, compulsorily, mandatorily, you have to organize polls for the urban local bodies and the panchayat level as well. Where was this entire idea? I want to ask my friend from the opposition. They are making several arguments against, someone is saying that the autonomy of regional parties will go down. TDP in Andhra Pradesh, you look at whenever you make this argument, you question the wisdom of the people of India. The TDP won in Andhra Pradesh, but BJP did not win. Similarly, the last 2 Lok Sabha election you saw, people of Orissa smartly voted for BJD in state government. but not in the center. In Delhi, you see 7 Lok Sabha won by the Bharatiya Janata Party. After a couple of months, you see the same people of Delhi voting for Aam Aadmi Party. So where is this argument? We don't see any logic. We don't see any foundation to the arguments being given by the opposition parties opposing the idea.
Right. Let's listen to Kamru Chaudhary. Yes, Kamru Chaudhary.
Yeah, Anand, basically you see the push for one nation, one election represent a significant departure from the principles of federalism and democratic accountability that underpins India's political system. This is a basic opening remark that I can say out here. You have a Prime Minister of India who is 24/7 on an election mode. Though he is not required to be on an election mode, what is the necessity of being on an election mode 24/7? Do you mean that the staggered elections are crucial for maintaining a balance of power, yes or no? And ensuring that governance is responsive to the public needs. Whenever an election comes, people like Guru Prakash's party will be held accountable to the voters of the country. That's the advantage of this. If you outweigh that with the costs involved, then may I ask a simple question? Why were the Maharashtra, Haryana and Jharkhand elections not held together? Why was there such a obvious manipulation of the election commission in announcing the dates for the Maharashtra and Jharkhand election, not with the Haryana elections? That apart, you see, you compare that with another democratic, functioning democracy in the United States. How are they holding their federal elections and the central presidential elections? That also is a staggered way they are holding it. So why is the hurry in India? Just because delimitation is coming up in 2026-27, there are supposed to be a number of parliamentary seats being added out here. You want to club the entire assembly as well as the national elections so that a single national agenda will be dominating the state as well as the central elections. You want to change the basic character of the constitution by saying that, look, we are in the majority in the states, there are no the basic one more point, Anand, I'll just finish it off, is this is a clear-cut attempt to finish off the multi-party democracy. Here, one nation, one election means one nation, one party. That's what the feedback that we are getting from the people. And I believe my party as well as the other parties in the Indian multi-party democracy will be opposing this tooth and nail. If the parliament fails, we'll go to the people of the country and we will see what can be done best to avoid this. Because we need the government to be held accountable every few months. And the federal structure of the country, the regional aspirations of the people must be respected. It's not that, okay, fine, Narendra Modi is the undisputed dictator of this country. No, we will not allow that coronation to happen.
So whatever happened between 1947 to 1967 applies
65.
to 65, correct. So 1947 to 1965, whatever happened, same whatever you said applies to that situation also.
So why not? There was a functional democracy when the elections were held.
So Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru was a dictator. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru wanted to ensure that there is an aggregation of whatever state voices
and there. Up to 1965. That cannot be a logic to
today's context. Do you know why? Since you know 1965, not a logic to do you also know why? Which government was actually what happened in 1965 that forced the breaking of this entire one nation one vote?
With the 1965 argument, you will be coming out here.
Please tell me which elected state government was sacked unceremoniously while somebody was made the Congress party president. What happened?
Fine, then let's say one thing. 18
so what happened at that time?
No, let's say one thing. 18 states the BJP is in power.
I am asking you based on the very logic you outlined.
Come to the ground once again.
Based on the very logic you outlined across the three terms of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru and also across the Congress terms, how many times have elected governments been unceremoniously dismissed by brazenly appending or misusing Article 356? And how many times has Article 356 been used between 2014 to 2024? And you please tell me where is the dictatorship? Where is the dictatorship?
The Congress party has apologized for the emergency. That is a past
it's
that
not.
we
It's
don't
not
want to
about.
repeat.
Sir, emergency happened. Emergency happened in 1975. An apology will not happen.
The coronation of the king is awaited.
One minute. Kamru Chaudhary, just one line apology 30-40 years later for appending the constitution, assaulting the very DNA of our constitution, that is its preamble. How easily you've just said an apology. No, sir, an apology will not do. You have to turn around and say what was done at that time was wrong and it should be retracted. And it should be done, if it has to be inserted and if it has to be done, it should be done after a parliamentary debate and after due parliamentary procedure and the will of the people. That was not done. It has been assaulted multiple times. But yes, Guru Prakash Paswan, yeah, why were Maharashtra, Haryana and Chhattisgarh and Jharkhand not held together if you back simultaneous elections?
No, Anand, it's a very basic argument. You need a constitutional amendment to do that. And this is what the constitution, this is what the Polling Committee has suggested, that Article 83, Article 85, Article 172 and Article 179 has to be amended, and only then the simultaneous process can begin. But point is not that. The point is what Mr. Kamru Chaudhary is suggesting, that we change the basic character of the constitution. Sir, you are a learned man. I'm sure you would have heard the judgment of Keshav Nanda Bharti. I'm sure you are aware of the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act. I'm sure you are aware of the fact that Dr. Ambedkar said that preamble is the soul of our constitution. And when the soul of our constitution was dismembered, sir, when the soul of our constitution was disintegrated, I want to ask you tonight. Kamruji, bataiye aap. When after in 1976, the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act, it actually disoriented, destructured and destabilized the entire nature, entire character of our preamble. And who is responsible for that? This is not the way you can do it. Number two, when you say election commission has been manipulated, this is a very serious charge, sir. This is a very serious allegation that you are implying on a constitutional body. I did not speak when you were speaking, sir. Please have some courtesy. When you say that there is a manipulation by election commission, I'm sure you are aware of Article 324. Article 324 of the Constitution of India categorically suggests that there is an independent statutory constitutional body, and you are constantly raising fingers, you are constantly raising integrity questions on the integrity of those institutions.
With what proof?
On the one hand, sir.
Can I rebut that point on the election commission?
On the one hand,
once he finishes, 30 seconds.
I will not let you speak, sir. 10 seconds. I will not let you speak, Amruji. Aise mat kariye aap. Let's see, you have to understand. On the one hand, state constitution. On the other hand, whenever any constitutional institution suits you, Supreme Court favors you, Supreme Court is good. You win an election, election commission is good. When there is a verdict against you, Supreme Court is bad. When you lose an election, election commission is bad. I am sorry. This sort of selectivity, when it comes to constitution, when it comes to Baba Saheb Ambedkar, will not work, sir. You have to understand this.
Can I rebut
okay,
now?
Please
I
rebut.
don't want to shout over him. First and foremost, you see, when the Supreme Court of India directed the appointment of the Election Commission of India, why did Narendra Modi government bring an ordinance to override the Supreme Court judgment? This is an example of manipulation. Let me finish, please. Let me finish. You have asked multiple questions. Let me answer them one by one. Let me answer them one by one. Let me answer them one by one, please. Night 12 o'clock, you have got the CBI director being changed. You call that a manipulation of the system. I call that not a level playing field to the opposition in the country. When you are discussing one nation, one poll, let us remember the 42nd Amendment brought the actual essence of plurality to the Constitution. Even though we see we had masked people inside the parliament, people in the government were having a mask. That mask came off when they talked about the 42nd Amendment. Today you had another defeat in the Supreme Court when the 1991 places of worship act, which preserves the plurality of the Constitution, was being challenged by Western interests like you. This is the case. Why did you say that 10 years Jammu and Kashmir did not have an elected government? Why? Under what? No, 2014 to 2024, why did Jammu and Kashmir not have an elected government? Why? What was the reason? You dismembered a state and you want to trample upon the federalism of the country. Each and every state has got its own regional identity. You want to trample the identity of the regional people out here. Simple question
that you have not yet answered. How many governments were toppled by the Congress using Article 356? How many governments have been toppled or unseated by the BJP using Article 356? If you want to change, re-engineer the very DNA of our country and put it on a path which does not allow it to evolve economically and also given the changing times, then at that time, was it done with the will of the parliament or with half of democracy in jail? Was it? So all of these questions have to be answered. And One Nation, One Poll, sir, in the past has worked for us. And if it is going to help this country, well, why not back something that's going to help? It's going to be debated in Parliament. Let's see who's got to say what. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Thank you. Winding up this edition of The Right Stand on that note, Brass Tacks with Zakir Jacob right now.
Lam Laminates presents CNN News 18 Primetime Studio.
Good evening. We're coming to you live from the CNN News 18 Primetime Studio presented by Green Lamb Laminates. I'm Zakir Jacob. This is Brass Tacks. The Union Cabinet has approved the plan to have One Nation, One Poll, which is a pet initiative of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. We are now learning that the bill for One Nation, One Poll will be introduced in Parliament next week, and subsequently it will be referred to a joint parliamentary committee. Now, there is a sound economic rationale for why India should have one election. Every 6 months in this country, you have an assembly election or you have a general election. The point is, there is massive costs to the exchequer. This is unsaid, both man-hour costs and total costs that go into holding these elections. So, it'll be a massive cost saving